Slap some bacon on a biscuit and let's go. We're burning daylight.
It's the world of strange. A world gone wacky.
Out here, due process is a bullet.
And some of the scariest people on the planet.
I think you're bluffing.
Be afraid.
You know, you look mighty pretty when you get mad.
It's your odd news on KCHW.
Just sit back and enjoy the show.
There you go. KCHW 102.7, 836, Cotton Gene. Odd news. Am I freaking you out?
I'm just sitting there thinking, he really thinks he's entertaining, isn't he?
I am entertaining myself.
That's what it was.
Yeah, we work for free. We do this for free every day.
We do.
So we have to entertain ourselves.
Right.
Or we wouldn't keep coming back.
You know, I have to admit,
Yeah?
what I love the most about coming to the radio in the morning is the fact that we laugh all the time.
Oh, I was thinking.
It's laughter is like good
The cat?
medicine. And
No, it is. It is. It's always fun.
You know, it's like it's fun to be here because we're always laughing and being stupid and yeah.
Angelique, our new volunteer, said one day, she said, and it just went, oh, it was a different compliment, and she just said, I like it here. It has good energy.
Aww,
it feels good. Well, and I think it's because, you know, I've said that before, if we had employees, it'd be a nightmare, but volunteers show up when they say they're going to show up.
Because they want to be there.
And the DJs that you hear at night on this radio station, they want to be here, and the worst day ever is the day they can't do their show. I mean, they are really that way. They always come and say, I can't do my show next week. What am I going to do? Or can I pre-record one?
And then there's me who's been like AWOL for...
missing all the time.
I know,
Could care less. But that is the awesome thing about our volunteers. They are very, very dependable. They love what they do, and they keep coming back for more to share it with you.
At least we try.
That's right.
We try.
All right, news and text, where we start off where the first part is true and the second part is just...
about as real as... Never mind, I won't say it.
Oh.
I was going to say Trump's tan, but... You know.
No, it's probably real.
It might be.
He can go anywhere he wants. Here you go. Have you seen the video from Florida of the humongous alligator, that 13-foot one? It was in the ditch at first. Then it took a stroll through a retirement village.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it turns out it lives there. Sad. None of his kids ever come to visit.
Aww.
Poor alligator in the retirement home.
I'd be like, hey, that would make really nice boots.
Ooh. More news in the animal. More animals in the news? More news on animals? All right, New Zealand. A bull wandering loose on a busy road. Ooh, this is worse than a moose on the interstate. Causing traffic problems. From Canada. It kept running up to each car, offering to wash the windshield for $1.
You know, I'm just thinking, why doesn't somebody just eat it?
I want to do that. I want to be in Spokane, and I want to jump out and start, squirt the person's window. But instead of washing it, I want to start licking it.
Ew.
Just like the moose or the
Well,
bull.
you know, on the upside...
It'd really freak out the people in the car.
Yeah. Yeah, on the upside, if you did that this time of year, you get plenty of salt.
Oh, or my tongue stuck to the windshield, which could be just as fun.
Yeah, but at least you wouldn't be, like, licking bugs off of windshields this time of year. That's the good thing.
Right. I like bugs. Man in Indiana accidentally shot himself where no man ever wants to shoot himself.
In the groin?
Pretty close, yes.
Yeah.
Close enough. General vicinity. He didn't have a license for his gun.
Maybe that's why he shouldn't have been playing with it.
Now he doesn't need a license for his other gun. So now he faces possible criminal charges on top of everything else.
Oh. So he's going to lose his gun and his manhood all in one fell swoop?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
This is not how you make your ex-girlfriend regret leaving you.
On the upside, he just removed himself from the gene pool.
A woman in California with the last name of Meth was sentenced to prison for, well, delivering meth to a prisoner.
Nice.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Her cellmate is a woman named Badcheck.
Is that what you call self-fulfilling prophecy?
Yes. She changed her name so she could fulfill her own prophecy. Probably.
Right.
Have you seen the new trailer for the final scene of Game of Thrones? Everybody's buzzing about it. It's all over the internet.
Remember, I don't have regular TV, so I...
I heard that the Dragons did all their own stunts.
That must... Never mind. I'm going to keep my comment to myself.
And I didn't even recognize Will Smith.
What?
Oh, no. It's
a joke.
You have to be on top of the current news because Will Smith's been taking a lot of hate.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, he's supposed to... They cast him to play the Williams sisters, the tennis stars, as their father. And the internet's upset because they say he's not dark enough to play their dad.
Oh, whatever. Just give it a rest.
Yeah. All right. I don't know what to say about that, but at 21, Kylie Jenner has become the world's youngest self-made billionaire. I hate that woman. Just go away. How do they keep getting stupider and richer at the same time?
For doing reality stuff?
Yeah.
Well, that is just dumb.
I wear clothes, tight clothes.
Look at my butt.
When I was 21, I was still trying to figure out if I wanted to become a professional Frisbee golf player or a professional comic book reader or a disc jockey. And she's a billionaire.
Wow.
Why did I chose disc jockey?
What were you thinking?
Starting in 2021, Volvo says it will limit the speed of its cars to 112 miles an hour.
Oh, really?
Yes. As a result, in his next movie, James Bond switching from a Volvo to a Chrysler minivan. He wants to borrow yours, Gene.
Mine is a Kia.
Oh, wow.
And you know, I got to admit.
Even James Bond has his limits, okay? He ain't driving no Kia.
But here's the thing, though. So, you know, I'm the mom of minivans because of my 42 children, right? I've had minivans for years. And I've had the Dodge minivans, I've had the Plymouth Caravans, and this Kia has 10 times the power.
Really?
This Kia, oh yeah, that Kia, I mean, has major get up and go. I'm like, oh, I like that power. That's a lot of power for a minivan.
I bought a Hyundai, maybe 2001, and I think it was in '99. It was kind of after where they made their switch from building the worst cars on the road to some really nice ones. And that car, it was a Hyundai, was one of the nicest cars I've ever had.
Yeah. Super
dependable, super fast, killer sound system.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was just a great handling, great riding. Yeah, very dependable car. So it's cool when you see them come around from being disposable to actually, you know. Yeah.
To being dependable, yeah. I think I did effectively kill a Dodge minivan because of, you know, loading it with all my camp gear, and the Kia took it like a tramp. Well,
and not to pick on American-made stuff, because I love American-made stuff, but which minivans do you usually see on the side of the road? Chrysler and Ford.
Yeah.
I mean, really, when you see one broke down, that's usually what it is.
Yeah,
you know?
I would agree. But yeah, this Kia is like the strongest and toughest minivan so far that we've driven.
Made the mistake one time because they were cute of buying a Mazda minivan because they're cuter than the other minivans. Yeah.
Cute doesn't count, does it?
That's the disposable minivan.
Right.
Because it's going to dispose of all your income by the time it's paid for.
And that's just in parts.
Virgin Atlantic has changed a long-standing rule about flying. Now flight attendants no longer have to wear makeup.
Oh.
And neither do the pilots. All right, we're going on to the world of wacky but true. A ton of stories. Are you dropping any of them, or do we have a long session of odd news?
I'm just going to do all of them because they're all actually safe.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're short.
Right?
Okay.
All right, so a Glynn County, Georgia police officer recognized statewide as an expert on impaired driving was arrested on Monday on DUI charges. Kevin Yarborough was arrested by State Patrol trooper after the trooper said he spotted Yarborough swerving all over the road. Yarborough was once named the State of Georgia Drug Recognition Expert of the Year by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety and the Georgia chapter of Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
I think he's going to get stripped of those titles.
Right? That was pretty good.
Oh, all right. So, you were ready. You were waiting for me, weren't you?
Yeah, he's sound effects, dude.
Oh, because he's... I got the perfect one.
Okay.
Okay.
You stupid, ignorant son of dumb.
Yeah, perfect.
You know, I'm sure that's what the Mothers Against Drunk Driving wanted to say to him,
how
or did.
How
right?
embarrassing, you know. There, practice what you preach, baby.
Right, well, maybe that's why he was an expert.
Oh, he was practicing too much is what you're saying.
Personal experience.
Oh.
All right, a Florida man wanted to bring a souvenir home from Pennsylvania, but was stopped by security screeners at the airport. The man's military rocket-propelled grenade launcher in his checked bag was confiscated before he was allowed on the plane to Orlando. No, they say you can put firearms in your checked luggage. Come on. But I don't think that includes grenade launchers.
Was there any grenades to go with it, or just the
No,
launcher?
it just says it was just the launcher.
So what's the problem with that?
I don't know. I don't see anything wrong
Unless you
with
could
it.
launch other things.
Can you imagine how much fun a grenade launcher would be?
O Lord, bless this thy hand grenade.
I can.
That with it thou mayst blow thine enemies to tiny bits in thy mercy.
You know, it sounds cool to lob a hand grenade, but wouldn't you really be scared to do it?
Oh, it would, but it would be like the biggest thrill rush, wouldn't it?
I'm such a bad throw though. I was just, I was a sick kid. I never took sports, so I never got that. Yeah, I would lob it and it would like bounce off something and come back at me. I know it.
And then you'd be like, run!
What happened to Scott? Well, he's the only person in America who's ever successfully thrown a grenade at himself. So,
good point.
All right.
Good point. All right. In Indianapolis, home fire was that caused $60,000 in damage. It was started when a man's cat and dog were fighting and knocked over an electric space heater onto a pile of blankets.
Oh.
So cat and dog fights. This is like total, yeah.
That can happen to anybody though.
It could.
Because I fell asleep on the couch and had knocked off a little throw pillow.
Oh.
And when I woke up in the morning, it was totally leaning up against the heater. But it was one of those radiator space heaters, but they still get, it was on high because it's cold.
Oh, yes. And I have one of those because
So then actually this next sound effect's kind of for me.
There are no stupid questions, just stupid people.
Okay.
But poor guy, though, $60,000 in damage because his cat and dog decided to pick a fight with each other.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yep. All right, a 6-year-old boy who was unable to free himself after his rear end got stuck in a toilet was finally rescued by 5 firefighters who had to disassemble the toilet seat to free him. The boy's parents said they had tried for more than an hour to free their child from their butt-clamping toilet, but nothing worked. They ended up calling 911.
Did you just say butt clamping?
Yes!
You have said some stupid things in your lifetime, but I do believe, if possible, this just might be the stupidest thing I have ever heard come out of your mouth.
That was fun to say, though. Butt-clamping toilet.
Yeah, so you might pay to say that.
I should get paid to say stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. An elderly man left an expensive Picasso artwork on a train where it quickly disappeared. The jug is worth more than $11,000. The 10-inch tall ceramic piece dates to 1953 and was an original crafted by Picasso in his workshop in the south of France. Police said the man reported the disappearance immediately after exiting the train, but the bag with the jug inside was already gone.
Aww.
How sad for him.
Aww. Sometimes life just... Well, he can sum it up.
Because I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.
No, not really.
Not really, no. Just whatever you do, don't leave your, famous Picasso artwork on a German train. It's just, yeah.
Don't leave it anywhere.
Right?
You might want to keep it with you.
Mm-hmm.
Or at home.
All right, police in India failed to act on hundreds of corruption complaints over an 8-year period because they did not know a computer password. Officers in Delhi couldn't get into a computer holding more than 600 complaints.
Live to the police house.
Oh no! We suck again!
Couldn't they find the employee they fired that knew the password?
The one password.
Right. All right, a house fire in Georgia, or at a house fire in Georgia.
I can't blame him because I just kind of had like 2 computer little fixes for friends.
Yeah.
And neither one of them knew their password.
Oh, that happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to admit, everything you do now, all the apps, everything require a password.
Mm-hmm.
And you're supposed to have a different password for every single one of them. And that is just so confusing. And I forget passwords constantly.
I hate passwords. It's a nightmare of modern life.
Right.
The password.
You know what I find myself clicking on all the time?
Hmm?
Forgot the password? ? Click on that all the time.
Just It's just you have it now. If you're logging in somewhere, you're going to choose lost my password.
Yeah.
It's just easier.
Yeah, it is because I forgot my password all the time. All the time. It's sad. All right, at a house fire in Georgia, an elderly man with a cane made sure that the 6 adults and 2 children who lived in the home had made it out safely. Then he went back inside to rescue the 5 beers he had in the refrigerator.
And that's when... Oh, bad idea.
Gotta get them beers, man.
Oh, I'd go through anything for a beer.
Except you're allergic.
Uh-huh.
Right? All right, in South Africa, a man faked his own death and spent thousands to give himself a funeral. Here's the kicker. His wife and family knew about the plan, and they were in on it, but his friends didn't know. The guy lay in his coffin for 2 hours listening to the tearful eulogies of his friends. Then he suddenly sat up and confessed that he just wanted to find out what people would say about him after he died. Most of the mourners got up, walked out, vowing to never speak to him again.
Aww.
Right? So what would you do if that was you? I mean, would you... I mean, if you went to a friend's funeral and they pulled that trick.
I'd kill him.
Suck gas, evildoers.
You'd probably just go up and choke him and then make it real.
Do you like how I didn't hesitate? What would you do? I'd kill him.
Kill him. You'd make sure he was dead this time. All right, now the eulogies are for real.
Uh-huh.
Right? All right, my last story. A man broke into homes to steal smelly shoes. Or a man who broke into homes who would steal smelly shoes was sentenced to 6 months in jail by a Singapore court. The man said he was addicted to the odor of smelly shoes and would hang on to them until the smell went away. Then he would just give them to charity.
Fascinating, but quite impossible. Fascinating, but quite impossible.
Really?
Fascinating.
How many more you think I got?
I don't know. Knowing you a lot.
Fascinating. A most fascinating thing happened.
I smelt shoes.
I'm addicted to smelly shoes.
How about it, Spock? Fascinating.
The question is now,
what?
How long does it take smelly shoes smell to fade?
How about it, Spock? Fascinating.
I don't think... okay, so I've been in a lot of secondhand stores that sell shoes.
Yeah.
I don't think it ever goes away.
It's unbelievable. Fascinating.
Exactly.
But if he's been doing this for a long time, though, it could be that he has figured it out. So that's what we need to find out.
They have a certain level of stink that then does not make them valuable anymore.
Right?
Why are we talking about this?
I don't know.
It's unbelievable.
Because that is the odd news
for
Wednesday.
Look, we got potato chips. I can get them open. Didn't know we had them. Do you like some?
Mom, don't eat them so fast. You're going to make yourself sick.
I'm not. Feel better, Laura? Yeah.